Oh no, I can't do the intro with a straight face. Oh my gosh. Alright folks, let's take a look at Stalin's mini fridge with a sawn-off double barrel shotgun attached. It is the SU-2-122. So based on the T-34 chassis, they mount a larger superstructure for the double barrel 122s. So is it historically accurate? Who the hell knows? Is it funny? Hell yes it is. God, it is so bad. I mean, unless you're shooting at a bunker of sorts or structure, like a building, yeah, it's fine. It's shooting at tanks, which are moving. This is so impractical. God. It has twin boobs for ventilation fans in the back and periscopes for the crew, so at least it's symmetrical. A machine gun for the loader, possibly. That should be the commander, that should be the loader, that should be the gunner. There's also a radio operator and likely 2 loaders for the guns. So yeah, it's a crew of 6, surprisingly, for such a small vehicle. But T-34 chassis, obviously. It also has rubber wheels along with the normal iron ones or steel ones. Interesting. But God, it's so boxy. So impractical. I mean, it's a big target for planes, it's a big target for artillery, it's a big target, period. Alright, let's take a look at the firepower. So twin barrel 122s, 61mm of pen for high explosive, which is meh, whatever. 140 for high explosive anti-tank, but 450 alpha for the high explosive, and 370 otherwise. Average-ish. Takes about 12 seconds to reload. And you cannot put a rammer on this thing since it's a double barrel gun, so that's unfortunate. Also, the reload time is kinda long. It takes about, I think, 8 seconds or 9 seconds for the KV-1 with the Derp gun. So it takes a little bit longer than the actual 122 single shots, but okay. 4 seconds to prep for the double barrel shot. So lock onto target for 4 seconds and you have twice the damage, but afterwards you have to wait 3 seconds before you start to reload, and changing guns after you fire 1 round is 7 seconds, so you cannot just rapid fire 2 122s simultaneously. Aim time is Derp gun 3 seconds, about average-ish, yeah. Accuracy is surprisingly better than most Derp guns at tier 5, 0.48. Now that's not saying much because the average is about 0.55 or so, but still. At least it's a little bit better, but still, that's not much. 6 degrees of gun depression, 15 elevation, yeah, workable. 40 rounds, 16 degrees to each total. It's not to each side, so it's only 8 to each side. And that's about the same as, I think, the ISU. Is it the same as... No, this thing has a little bit better. It's 20 for the SU-85I. It's about the same as the ISU, I think. 152. Yep, it's about the same as this thing. Or about the same as the SU-122-44. So, it's not the worst, but it's okay. I mean, it's not a Churchill gun carrier or toaster of a Panzer Kampfwagen, so that's a plus. Crew of 6, like I said. You do have a radio operator. What? So most high tier Russian tank destroyers do not have a radio operator, and therefore in order to use Brothers in Arms you have to specifically train a random crew just for this vehicle with Brothers in Arms. Even the middle tiers don't have a radio operator. Lower tiers? None of them have one. This is a light tank, that doesn't count. Yeah, none of them have a radio operator they do have 2 loaders, so that's not a problem, but there's no radio operator anywhere for both lines too. Yeah, that's a problem. Like with the French medium tanks, how the Shermans, let's see, the Shermans need a radio operator where the Batchat doesn't have one. So where the hell is the French example? So in order to fill stuff like the Brittany Panther, you need a radio operator from somewhere. Same goes with the Shermans, but usually they're not available on the Batchat line since it's only a driver and gunner and commander. So you have to specifically train a crew just for the vehicle, which is somewhat of a turnoff, but not that much. This thing has 2 gunners. This thing doesn't have a radio operator. Alright. Oh, it's the mini cousin of that thing. So, gun's alright, but it's a derp. It's not the best. It's a meme, so it's not alright. It's alright for a meme. Top speed of 45, reverse of 14. Horsepower per ton ratio is not bad per se, but not the best. 14.5. Hull traverse, slow medium tank. Gun traverse speed, and whatever, 30 around the little superstructure. 480 health, which is average-ish for a tank destroyer at tier 5. 45mm all the way around means you have no armor, and you'll get pinned by most guns, even from high explosive. Even from your own high explosive, unless you shoot the mantlet. And after the high explosive nerf, that will eat the shot, so unfortunate. View range is actually average for a Russian tank destroyer. It's kind of bad compared to something of an open top for tier 5s like the Wolverine or the T-67, but what can you do? Radio is actually average for Russian tanks at tier 5, but god, this thing is so gross. How much angle does this thing has better angle of the gun traverse arc than the actual SU-2-122. Alright, I mean, it's based on the heavy tank chassis. Of course it does have better ones. But stuff like this thing, how much view range does this thing have? Let me take off the freaking binoculars. Take off the binos. 330. Wow, that's, well, then again, it's a large ass German cupola, so technically German bias. German bias. German-esque of a cupola design. But yeah, most tank destroyers at tier 5 have garbage view range. Let's see. What about this thing? I sold mine a long time ago. 280. Yeah, it's kind of crap. You cannot boost that. You can only boost the radio to the standard one. Yeah, you cannot boost the view range. So all of them are kind of bad. No wonder, but it has a derp gun. Well, let's see how the actual in-game stats look. Could be better. So with a 100% crew, you have 0.46 accuracy, which is actually not bad for a tier 5. Let's see with the KV-1 with the derp gun. How you nerf the derps after the high explosive nerf. I hate it. You don't get to use fun guns anymore at low tier. Yeah, it's more accurate, a lot more accurate than the KV-1 with the derp, but it takes 1 second longer to reload. Huh. And it's longer to aim? Yeah, it's also longer to aim compared to the KV-1. Well, then again, you're aiming 2 guns instead of 1. Huh. I mean, if you do pin, it's pretty decent damage. Now consider the fact that if you don't pin, you only deal like 10 damage or something. And you get chewed out. So it's a high flux of variance. Very high flux. The same penetration with the KV-1's derp gun. Practically the same. Same alpha. Same high explosive ended tank. But the KV-1 has armor. This thing has 45 all the way around. It's also kind of huge. Yeah, camo is about the same as a T-34. A little bit worse, I think. T-34s are more sneaky than something of a Sherman. So what the hell is a T-34? Yeah, it's a bit better than the T-34 is a little bit better than the SU-2-122. So about 1% camouflage bonus. Whereas something like the Sherman with the Derp gun, yeah, Sherman doesn't have as better or as good camouflage rating, but they do have a 105 Derp. Well, SU-2-122's Derp is more accurate, but it's longer to aim and takes longer to reload, logically speaking, so trade-offs. Alright, the most important thing about a Derp gun is the shell velocity. If the velocity is terrible, like the Caliban, then you're not sniping with the gun. You're basically point blank range and just dumping the 2 shells like a, Doom guy into some demons. Shell velocity is not the best also. 515 meters per second. Now granted, that's a lot better than the Caliban, so we're out of that aspect, but still, the high explosive anti-tank is still 412. That's slow. I think the sound barrier is like 370 or something. It's a little bit less than the Caliban. Give me a split second to see the Caliban. It's British heavy tank. Alright, Caliban, shell velocity. Yeah, the actual sound barrier is about 325 meters per second. That is the sound barrier, I think. I may be wrong. It may be 370. So this is either subsonic, which is hilarious, or just barely over the speed of sound. So yeah, that is, hold on, just for science sake, speed of sound. Oh no. 343 meters per second at 20 degrees Celsius. That is barely over the speed of sound. Oh my god. That is crap. A little bit of science for today, but goddamn, the shell velocity is slow. So you'll actually get hit before you hear the sound. But yeah, the shell velocity is, it's the same as the KV-1, so unless you have the armor to withstand the retaliation or counter hit, you better run away pretty quick. Or unless you kill the stuff right away. So most of the time, maybe just double barrel the high explosive anti-tank. Maybe. Oh god, it's gonna cost you a lot of money too to do that. Ooh. Oh no. How the hell do I feel about this thing? I mean, aim time and accuracy is technically not that bad for a 122. Now granted, the reload time is kinda long. You cannot put a rammer, so that equipment is out of the consideration, but it's a premium, so it makes more credit and crew XP. Kinda feel like the yesteryears of garbage premium tanks that are more of a meme than actual power creps, but that's good. I mean, I do like a good meme. But goddamn, the gun. It's like this thing. This thing suck ass. At least it has a turret and some armor, quote unquote, some. But equipment wise, let's see. You cannot put a rammer, so that's already one of the best equipments you can actually put. Funny enough, let's put tier 5s. They use smaller caliber of a rammer, so for this vehicle, I think vents will help out with the whole bunch of stuff. You can also use gunner sights to improve the aiming. Rammer is already out of the question, so you could put turbocharger to make yourself a little bit more nimble to go shotgunning. Optics? Well, if you're already shotgunning, you don't need to see, right? You're just basically blind, running around with the shotgun, unless you hit somebody or see somebody at close range and you just derp them. So I think turbocharger is a little bit more important than optics if you're just running around in towns, alright? Not in open fields. You'll get spotted and you get shot at because you're huge. So run around in town with a shotgun, practically. It's like all Call of Duty games. Or run around with a knife. But yeah, put likely improve aiming optics to help out with the accuracy. Put vents to help out with everything. And likely turbocharger. Yeah, that's possibly the setup. It's also at tier 5, so there's no fuel modification to help out with the garbage stuff. So no fuel mods. But if it's holiday ops, then sure. I mean, it's a stupid meme tank. It's a Caliban of this year's large holiday ops box, if that's a thing. So I will rate this vehicle a 2 out of 10. Would I rather play with this thing than play with the Caliban? I rated the Caliban at 2.5 or so. I think I would rather play with the Caliban because this thing will get pinned whichever way you hit it. It doesn't matter. It's also a pretty large target too. So unless we see the actual armor profile with like, say 200mm for the superstructure, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna get pinned, and it's a large target, and it's not that nimble in a sense in terms of hull traverse and mobility and engine power. So yeah, camp behind a corner, double barrel shotgun somebody unexpectedly at tier 5. Sure, I mean you're going up against tier 4s and then tier 7s. So if you're facing off against tier 7s, then shoot the high explosive and run away practically. So you're not doing much if you're bottom tier. If you're top tier, well, the thing about World of Tanks is everybody gets a highlight of their name and tank and stuff and a silhouette. So it's not like War Thunder where you can turn that off with simulation battles. You can turn off all the overhanging UIs, therefore giving away your position. So if you're camping in simulation battles, you're just a tank. You can also put foliage on it and make it more stealthy, therefore you just stir people without people knowing about it. So you can camp a corner without people knowing that you're camping the corner, and when they turn around or go through the corner, you just derp them. Derp them with a double barrel shotgun. So in World of Tanks, it's a 2 out of 10. It's pretty bad. Based on the mechanics, based on the system in play, it's pretty bad. It's a meme. But if you can play simulation battles without all the UIs and other stuff, then it's like a 4 out of 10, since you are more stealthier in that approach. But otherwise, it's Stalin's mini fridge with a shotgun attached. With a sawn-off double barrel shotgun attached. Oh god, 2 out of 10. It is kind of bad. Well, there you go, folks. The SU-2-122. So we'll get to see more with the 1.19 patch or common test. So hopefully we'll see a bunch, and we'll see how actually these vehicles are going to go for. But for now, kind of bad. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.